I'm just very much disturbed in what is going on about this election and why it is so important for us to speak up and stand with the President Donald Trump. And I was thinking about something happened a few years ago. I thought to myself, wrongdoers, they never discriminate. You have witnessed Orlando nightclub shooting when terrorism happened there, or in Texas, the military base, in Germany, Christmas market, in London Bridge, or the Paris restaurant. In all this, none of the terrorists ever asked the people, let me know which one of you are conservative and which one of you are liberal, so we can kill the conservative. They shoot non-discriminatory ways. They don't discriminate. So why, those of us who knows the right thing, we keep it quiet? Because if wrong prevail, it will affect all of us. I know in the previous administration, they have created a weapon called political correctness to keep all of us in bay, so we don't speak our truth, we don't speak our mind, which is American way and our right to bring our opinion so we can discuss with our peers, with our family members and co-workers. But in socialism, they will build you a wall called political correctness. So you don't trust your neighbor doesn't trust you. So division in the community has built. In this election, I heard a lot of women, suburban women, concerned about Mr. Trump locking the children in a cage in the border. I want us to go a little bit further and ask a question. Why and how those kids are coming to the border? The reason those kids are coming to the border is because there is a corruption in their nation. There is dictatorship in their nation. There is socialism in their nation. So for those of us who really care about human right and human issue that affect the vulnerable, the women and children, we need to speak up about this election. Because the outcome of this election, if the Democrat won by cheating and have their way, the world will continue to hurt those who have no voice and those who have no power to protect themselves. I have been in a refugee camp. I left my country at the age of 17, running away from socialism. I walked for 3 months by foot to get to the neighboring country. I have raped 3 times. I've been thrown in jail, beaten. So I know what vulnerability looks like. I know not having a voice looks like. And through all that journey, God has spared my life, and here I am alive and standing in front of you. That is why I cannot keep it quiet. I don't know, I'm not better than anybody else, but I have been spared. In the book of Esther, Mordecai, her uncle, say to her, you don't know if God spared your life for such a time of this. I went back to the refugee camp 8-9 years ago and worked with a lot of minor kids that have been in a cage, have been separated from their families. Those kids, they have seen human trafficking. Young boys have been used for sex slavery. Their organ has been taken out of their body where they are alive. And I've seen a kid with an open kidney taken out and with a womb in his body. Those are the reasons I'm speaking up. Most of us Americans, a name of refugee became a household name after the Syrians refugees, because by millions they became refugees. Do you ever wonder who caused that? It's the Democratic Party. It wasn't Mr. Trump who caused refugees. As a matter of fact, it's not Mr. Trump's policy to lock or to cage children on the border, not at all. Mr. Trump have improved many of those so-called cages. He have improved their lives. The truth needs to be told. So that's why I'm speaking up. We need to stand with the truth. We need to stand up and speak up in a support and coming in a unity with Mr. Trump. Because if this situation continue and the Democratic Party and their mouthpiece, this media, succeed and cheated their way to have a power, many people's life will be in danger. Many countries will become socialist. Many dictatorship will rise up, and that will put women and children in jeopardy. The reason they are so much hateful against Mr. Trump is not because he's racist. That's the fact. Because he is trying to stop unwanted, unnecessary wars around the world. The more wars you have, the more refugees you have. The more refugees you have, the more women and children are being exposed to human trafficking, to sex slavery, organ harvesting, abortion, raped, kidnapping. All this happened under the Democratic leadership in many, many nations. And they knew Mr. Trump is standing up for little people. That's why they're trying to take him out. As a matter of fact, they didn't start in this election. They have been trying to take him out since the day he announced he's running for a president. I want anyone who really cares about Black Lives Matter to look up a woman named Margaret Sanger, a woman who made her mission to abort black and brown babies. She is a Democratic Party. Majority of the people in power in the Democratic Party are mentored by her and supported her agenda. So if you really, truly care about Black Lives Matter, a black person's life, then you will support Mr. Trump and you'll stand up for this election. And let's investigate and find out who really won this election. If Mr. Trump is a racist, minority, Hispanic community, black community voted for him historically very high number. That had to tell you something. So let's put the division aside. If socialist, globalists took over, all of our way will be in danger. So I'm urging you to stand up for the truth, to stand up for those who are not able to stand up for themselves. Speak on behalf of the women and children around the world who are not be able to speak on their behalf. That is the true justice. Those of you who believe in a prayer, this is not the time to sit back. Even though the prophets have prophesied that Mr. Trump will win. As you remember in the book of Daniel, when Daniel understood that there is a time his nation will be set free, his people will be set free, he started fasting and praying. The word of God tells us in the first day his prayer had been heard and the angel Michael has been sent to him. But the spirit and the airways continued to fight him for 21 days, and he didn't get his answer in time. Yes, the decree has been released from heaven, but you and I need to continue to fight until we get our victory in our hand, the one the Spirit is fighting us on the air. We need to bring that spirit down. We need to take authority over that spirit. Until then, we should not rest. And so we need to continue to pray for the United States of America. We need to continue to pray for our president, Mr. Trump. We need to continue to lift up the godly leaders we have in this nation. And that's the only true justice, in my opinion.